हेलो फ्रेंड्स, होप यू ऑल आर डूइंग ग्रेट। सो आज की वीडियो में घटना चक्र की फंडामेंटल राइट्स वाला चैप्टर कवर कराऊंगी। फंडामेंटल राइट्स से बहुत ज़्यादा PYQs आए हुए हैं, चाहे वो UPPCS हो या स्टेट कोई भी स्टेट PCS हो प्लस UPSC हो, इसलिए आज हम वो सब कवर करेंगे। ये थोड़ी लंबी वीडियो होगी। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। विच वन ऑफ द फॉलोइंग कॉन्स्टिट्यूट द बेस्ट सेफगार्ड टू द लिबर्टी इन अ लिबरल डेमोक्रेसी। तो क्या हमारा सबसे बेस्ट सेफ गार्ड है? कमिटेड जुडिशरी कभी भी सेफ गार्ड नहीं कर सकती। सेंट्रलाइजेशन ऑफ पावर, इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट या सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर। तो सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर जो है वो हमारे को सबसे अच्छा सेफ गार्ड है एक लिबरल डेमोक्रेसी के। In liberal approach, which is inherent in the democracy, all forms of power are rooted in the will of the people. This approach enhances the rule of law as one of the basic foundations of democracy. It affirms separation of power as a vehicle for the restraint, and it promotes individual rights and freedom as a prerequisite of its dignity. Which Congress session passed the resolution of fundamental rights in 1931? So ये है कराची सेशन, हमने हमारा जो था उसने पास किया था। और इसमें प्रेसिडेंट कौन थे? यहाँ से कॉपी वाइट क्यों आते हैं? सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल। कब पास हुआ था? 1931 में। कहाँ पे पास हुआ था? कराची में हुआ था। ओके। इट हैड फॉलोइंग द गांधी एरविन पैक्ट एंड इन आफ्टरमथ ऑफ भगत सिंह, सुखदेव एंड राजगुरु's execution. In this session, Gandhi-Irwin Pact or Delhi Pact was endorsed and the goal of Purna Swaraj was reinitiated. The resolution on the fundamental rights and national economic program was adopted in the Karachi session. तो यहाँ से हमें बहुत सारे insights मिले कि और क्या क्या क्वेश्चन हो सकता है। देखो, पहला क्वेश्चन तो यही हो गया सिंपल कि कहाँ पे हुआ था। एक क्वेश्चन होता है कि इसको हेड किसने किया था, राइट? और इस पर और कौन सी चीज़ के बारे में बात हुई थी, ये फंडामेंटल राइट्स। और यहाँ पे पहली बार पूर्ण स्वराज की बात किधर की गई थी? इससे पूर्ण स्वराज की बात हमने कब की थी? 1930 में की थी, राइट? 26 जनवरी को। उसके बाद का ये जो रिजोल्यूशन था। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज करेक्ट? द नेहरू रिपोर्ट हैड एडवोकेटेड द इंक्लूजन ऑफ फंडामेंटल राइट्स इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935 referred to as fundamental right. August offer in 1940 included the fundamental rights. Crib mission 1942 referred to the fundamental rights. So हमारा जो नेहरू रिपोर्ट था was in the favor of inclusion of fundamental rights in the Constitution of India. Who said the following words about the fundamental rights? A fundamental right should be looked upon not from the point of view of any particular difficulty of that moment, but as something that you want to make permanent in the Constitution. So ये किसने बोला था? ये बोला था हमारे जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने। ओके। कि फंडामेंटल राइट्स जब हम वो लोग बना रहे थे तो उनका ये क्या एम था कि ऐसा नहीं देखना चाहिए कि अभी कौन सी डिफ़िकल्टीज़ हैं, बल्कि इस तरह से हमें लॉन्ग टर्म विजन लेके देखना चाहिए कि हमें कौन कौन से प्रोविजंस हैं जो हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में परमानेंट करना है, उसके बारे में। ओके। So Pandit Nehru said, a fundamental right should be looked upon not from the point of view of any particular difficulty of the moment, but as something that you want to make permanent in the Constitution. Who among the following persons said for the fundamental rights a pledge to our people and a pact with the civilized world? So ये किसने बोला था? राधाकृष्ण ने, डॉक्टर राधाकृष्ण ने बोला था कि ये एक पैक्ट है हमारे लोगों का उनके सिविलाइज वर्ल्ड से। ओके। फंडामेंटल राइट्स आर जस्टिसेबल इन नेचर। ओके। What are fundamental rights? Because the rights are called fundamental rights because these are written in the Constitution. It's democratic public view affair. It is essential for the personality development. Parliament can make laws against it. So no, Parliament can't make laws against. Can't make laws against it. Yes, ये फीचर है, ये रिटर्न है, इसलिए भी इट इज़ डेमोक्रेटिक। ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते कि डेमोक्रेटिक इस देश में हम फंडामेंटल राइट्स बोलते हैं। ये पब्लिक वेलफेयर को भी ध्यान में रखता है। यस, पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट में भी हेल्प करता है। और ये हमारा पार्लियामेंट उसके अगेंस्ट लॉ नहीं बना सकता। ओके। सो फंडामेंटल राइट्स आर रिटन इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. दे आर एसेंशियली फॉर पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट. द पार्लियामेंट कांट मेक लॉज अगेंस्ट देम एंड दे आर द पार्ट ऑफ द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर. Fundamental rights can be suspended by the order of Prime Minister. सस्पेंडेड ऑन द विल ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट कैन बी सस्पेंडेड ड्यूरिंग इमरजेंसी. सो खाली इमरजेंसी के टाइम पे हमारे फंडामेंटल राइट्स को सस्पेंड किया जा सकता है. अंडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट अबाउट द फंडामेंटल राइट्स इन इंडिया, दे आर गारंटीड अगेंस्ट द स्टेट एक्शन. They are enumerated in Part 3 of the Constitution. They are ensure social, economic and political justice. They are like Bill of Rights of USA. They are unlike Bill of USA. So 1, 2, 3 are right. Okay. Under which of the article of India fundamental rights has been provided? So Article 12 to 35. Which part of the Constitution give precedence to constitutional provision over the laws made by the यूनियन पार्लियामेंट और स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर? तो कौन सा है द टू द यूनियन. सो ये हमारा जो आर्टिकल 13 है वो क्या बोलता है कि कोई भी ऐसा लॉ नहीं बन सकता जो कि हमारे फंडामेंटल राइट्स को अब्रिज करता हो या फिर वॉयलेट करता हो. ओके. तो आर्टिकल 13 ऑफ द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मेक प्रोविजन दैट प्री कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लॉज पोस्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लॉ इफ अनकंसिस्टेंट विद द प्रोविजन ऑफ द फंडामेंटल राइट्स shall be void to an extent of such inconsistency. Article 245 is related to the extent of laws made by the Parliament and state legislature. 236 is related to election in the Lok Sabha. And 32 is about the constitutional remedy. The main objective of Article 13 of the Indian Constitution is to secure paramountcy of the Constitution regarding fundamental rights. In the given Constitution, the right to equality is given granted in 5 articles. They are Article 14 to 18. Then the right to equality is given under Article 14, Article 15, Article 16. So 2, 3, 4. Which of the following articles of the Indian Constitution puts an absolute limitation on the legislative power? So कौन सा हमारा आर्टिकल है जो लेजिस्लेटिव पावर पे लिमिटेशन लगाता है? वो है आर्टिकल 14. अंडर आर्टिकल 14 इक्वालिटी बिफोर लॉ हैज़ बीन इनकॉर्पोरेटेड. अंडर आर्टिकल 14 द स्टेट शैल नॉट डिनाई एनी पर्सन इक्वालिटी बिफोर द लॉ और इक्वल प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ लॉ विद इन द टेरिटरी ऑफ इंडिया on the ground of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth. Article 14 also puts a limitation on the legislative power. Every person, whether a citizen or a foreigner, has a right under Article 14. Okay. Which of the following articles of the Constitution of India is related to equality before law? So कौन कौन सा आर्टिकल हमारा equality before law से related है? वो है Article 14. In which of the following, in which type of the Constitution equal protection of law is provided? Article 14. A legislation which enforce on the legislative and administrative authority of unguided, uncontrolled, discretionary power in this matter of application of laws violates which one of the following articles of the Constitution? So क्या कोई भी unguided, uncontrolled, discretionary power करने वाला किसको violate कर रहा है? हमारे Article 14 को, जो कि बात करता है. Article 14 क्या है? Equality before law and equal protection of law. Okay. What is meant by rule of law? Rule of law का क्या मतलब होता है कि one act for all and one judiciary for all, one act for all and one state for all, one act for all and one judiciary for all, one state for all and one judiciary for all acts for one and one judiciary for all. No, one act for all and one judiciary for all. ये है rule of law का मतलब. Okay. The legal constraint on the ruler means the government is the subject of existing laws as much as the citizens. Okay. Prohibition of discrimination on the ground of religion is a fundamental right or classified under right to equality. Which one of the following statement, a fundamental right, was amended as a result of the decision of the Supreme Court in State of Madras versus Champakam Dorai Rajan case? So equality before law, right against discrimination, against untouchability of free speech and expression. So डिस्क्रिमिनेशन क्यों? ये क्या था? चंपाकन दोराई राजन वाला के, ये एक डॉक्टर थी जिनको मेरिट बेस पे एडमिशन मिल रहा था, पर रिजर्वेशन की वजह से उनके मार्क्स होने के बाद भी उनको नहीं मिल रहा था, और जो उनके मार्क्स कम थे उनको मिल रहा था. तो इसलिए उन्होंने राइट टू इक्वालिटी में अपना केस करवाया था कि मेरे साथ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हो रहा है, जबकि राइट टू इक्वालिटी में आर्टिकल 15 है वो प्रोहिबिशन ऑफ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ रिलीजन, रेस, कास्ट, सेक्स, प्लेस ऑफ बर्थ बोलता है, बट उनका डिस्क्रिमिनेशन होता है. ओके, which one under which of the following constitution reservation in admission to the educational institute including private and unaided OBC ST is made. So ये किस में बनाया जाता है? आर्टिकल 15 क्लॉज 5 में. ओके, आर्टिकल 15 is related to prohibition of discrimination on the ground of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth. Clause 5 of this empowers the state to make laws such provision relating to reservation in admission of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes in educational institution, which includes private educational institution, whether aided or unaided by the government. The 93rd Amendment of 2005 enabled the provision of reservation for OBCs in government as well as private institutions. The provision of reservation of OBC is made in the constitution under the article. So ये किस में बनाया गया? आर्टिकल 15 क्लॉज 4 एंड 16 क्लॉज 4 में बनाया गया है OBCs के लिए. Which of the following article of Indian Constitution guarantees equality of opportunity to all citizens of India in matters of public employment? Article 60. Which one of the following is not included in the fundamental rights to equality as enriched in the Constitution? Equality before law, equal opportunity, social equality, economic equality. क्या नहीं बताया गया इकोनॉमिक इक्वालिटी के बारे में? Okay, the state can treat unequal differently with the objective of creating a well playing field in the social, economic and political sphere. Among equals, the law should be equal and equally administered. Both A and B are true and A is the correct explanation of. So ये हमारा फोर्थ हो जाएगा. Consider the following statement. The Supreme Court of India has held in some judgment that the reservation policies made under Article 16 Clause 4 of the Constitution would be limited by Article 335 for maintenance of efficiency of administration. Okay, and Article 335 of the Constitution defines the term efficiency of the administration. So Article C is the correct कि efficiency को तो किसी आर्टिकल ने डिफाइन ही नहीं किया है, और 1 करेक्ट है कि हम efficiency इसकी इंक्रीज करने के लिए 16 क्लॉज 4 और 335 फॉर्म हुआ है. Under which Amendment Act was the reservation in promotion of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe and ensured by inserting clause 4A in the Article 16? So ये हुआ था 77th Amendment के थ्रू. Okay, 77th Amendment in 1995 ensured reservation of promotion of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in Article 16. Which of the following enabled Supreme Court of India to deduce a fundamental right to equal pay for equal work? So ये किसने किया था? The word socialist in the preamble का भी मतलब यही होता है कि सबको इक्वली ट्रीट करना. आर्टिकल 14 कि किसी में भी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन नहीं होगा, सब लोगों को इक्वली ट्रीट करेंगे. आर्टिकल 16 इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ इन पब्लिक, इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी टू पब्लिक एम्प्लॉयमेंट. ओके, सो ये सारे में है ऐसी बात की सोशलिस्ट इक्वल पे और फॉर इक्वल वर्क को जो प्रमोट करते हैं. Which one of the following articles read with the word socialist and in the preamble of the Indian Constitution enable Supreme Court to deduce a fundamental right to equal pay for equal work? So ये हमारा आ जाएगा आर्टिकल 14 और 16. Under what provision of the Constitution untouchability has been abolished? So untouchability हमारे किसने abolish करवाई है? आर्टिकल 17 में. Untouchability is abolished under which article of the Indian Constitution? Article 17. Which article of the Indian eradicates untouchability and prohibits any discrimination? Which of the following articles abolish okay, so ये क्वेश्चन तो बहुत जगह रिपीट हुआ है. आर्टिकल 17 abolition of untouchability. Under which article scheduled caste and scheduled tribe has been granted fundamental social, economic and political right? Untouchability वाला रिमूव करने का. Which one of the following categories of fundamental rights incorporate protection against untouchability? ये है right to equality. Prohibition and abolishment of untouchability may be achieved by public awareness, providing job, improving education, making laws. ऐसे तो मुझे सारे ही लग रहे थे. बट स्टिल कि यहाँ पे ऐसा दिया हुआ है कि इवन जॉब क्रिएशन से कुछ नहीं होगा, पार्लियामेंट को कुछ रूल्स बनाने पड़ेंगे. Following are two statements. One is labeled as accession and another as reason. Untouchability is the worst form of structural violence. Untouchability has been practiced in the name of religious action. So yes, A and B are true and A is the correct explanation of B. Which one of the following articles of the Indian Constitution belongs to different categories? So ये कौन से को बिलोंग करती है? ये आर्टिकल 19 की कौन सी है? राइट टू फ्रीडम में आ जाएगा. Okay, next. In the Indian Constitution, the right to freedom is granted for 4 articles, which are Article 19 to 22. In which article fundamental right, freedom of speech and expression is provided? So Article 19 is related to freedom of speech, Article 19. Freedom of press, Article 19. Freedom of press, but is included in Article 19 clause A. Then freedom of newspaper in India कौन से में provided in specially provided in Article 19 clause A subclause A. 19 clause 1 subclause A. The Supreme Court has held the hosting of national flag of top the private building is a fundamental right of every citizen because वो क्या है, right to freedom of speech and expression, अपना expression belief express करने के लिए. As a part of the right to freedom, which one of the following does not form a part of the freedom to assembly peacefully without arms? Peaceful ghetto officials not performing their duties. People who assemble should not bear arms. State can make special imposing reasonable restriction on the exercise of this right. So ये first कि ghetto officials not performing their duties ये against है, ये कोई पार्ट नहीं है उसका. ओके. By which of the following grounds the citizen's freedom of expression may be subjected to restriction? तो क्या है? Not be subjected to restriction, unbecoming criticism. Sovereignty अगर वो भी restriction है, public order and contempt of court ये सब restriction है. Reasonable restriction on the exercise of freedom of speech and expression under Article 19 clause 2 are justified in the interest of which of the following? Okay, so security of the state, defamation, sedition and public order. So 1, 2 and 4 sedition के लिए justify नहीं है. Which article of the Constitution of Indian Republic relates to the protection of personal liberty, life and personal liberty? Article 21. Doctrine of due process of law is included in Article 21. Which article of the Indian Constitution protects person right to travel abroad? Abroad कौन करता है? 21 और 19 क्या करता है? इंटरनल मूवमेंट के लिए. ओके. और ये कौन सा केस है? मेनका गांधी वाला केस. Identify the incorrect statement regarding judicial interpretation of Article 21 after Supreme Court verdicts in Menka Gandhi case. So the burden lies on the petitioner to prove that the procedure established by law which deprive him of his life and personal liberty is arbitrary. So ये किस पे burden? Petitioner पे burden. A procedure established by law is large and anonymous with the procedure due process of law. Article 19 are not mutually inclusive. Right to life includes right to live with dignity. तो क्या इनकरेक्ट है? ए कि बर्डन जो पिटिशनर का है वो उसके ऊपर ही है. ओके. Which one of the following has been recognized as the fundamental right by the Supreme Court of India? Right to shelter, travel abroad, equal pay for equal work. Which one of the following right is available under Article 19 clause 1 subclause D? Right to privacy. Right to privacy is protected as an intrinsic part of the right to life and personal liberty. Which of the following in the Constitution of India correctly and appropriately implies the above statement. So ये है आर्टिकल 21 के अंदर है, पार्ट 3 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में. ओके. राइट टू प्राइवेसी आर्टिकल 21. Right to constitution, right, which article of the constitution safeguards the right to marry person of one choice? Article 21. Which one does not fall within the article 21? Medical aids to inquire by sexual harassment of workwomen, pollution या फिर punishment, capital punishment. Which one of the following rights cannot be suspended or restricted even during national emergency? तो national emergency के टाइम पे कौन से आर्टिकल नहीं सस्पेंड किए जा सकते? वो है आर्टिकल 19 और 21. सॉरी 20 और 21. सो राइट टू लाइफ एंड पर्सनल लिबर्टी. The scope of Article 21 was expanded to right to education because the Supreme Court decision in कौन सा केस? उन्नी कृष्णा वर्सेस आंध्र प्रदेश. Right to education to all children between the age group of 6 to 14 is a fundamental right. When was the right to education amended? 1st April 2010. Which one of the following is a human right as well as a fundamental right in the Constitution? See, right to education. The state shall provide free and compulsory education to all children of age 6 to 14. In a democratic society, the right to education is indivisible in the interpretation of the right to development as a human right. So A and B both are correct and B is the correct explanation of A. Which of the following are encouraged by the right against exploitation in the Constitution of India? Prohibition of traffic in human being and forced labor, abolition of untouchability, protection of interests of the minorities, unemployment of children in the factories and mines. So कौन सा exploitation के लिए है? 1 and 4. Which provision of the fundament is directly related to the exploitation of the children? So कौन सा है? Article 24. Article 24 of the Constitution prohibits the employment of children in the factories related to the hazardous work. Such prohibition is called absolute prohibition. Which of the following is not a part of Article 20 of the Constitution? Double jeopardy, ex post facto prohibition against torture, or self-incrimination. Which article under Article 19 is directly related to exploitation of children? Article 24 is related to exploitation of children. Which of the following article of the Indian Constitution deals with the fundamental rights related to exploitation of children? Article 24. Children's rights are protected in Article 24. Which article of the Constitution provides protection of the accused regarding conviction from the double bar and self-incrimination? So Article 20 provides. As an accused of any offence cannot be compelled to be a witness against himself. Which articles of the Indian Constitution provide for this? So वो है आर्टिकल सब क्लॉज से. ये कौन सा है? सेल्फ इंक्रिमिनेशन वाला. No person shall be protected and punished for the same offence more than once. Under which article the above preservation of conviction of the crime? Article 20. Which article safeguards the fundamental right to arrest of an arrested person? That is Article 22. Article 22 mentions that no arrested person shall be detained in custody without being informed as soon as may be. The ground for such arrest shall not be denied on the right to consult and to be defended by a legal petitioner. Which of this is not correctly matched? 21 clause defended by a legal petitioner of his choice. 22 clause 4 is no law providing for preventive detention shall authorize detention in a long period of 3 months. C is Parliament may by law prescribe circumstances under which a person can be detained for a longer period other than 3 months. And 1. No person is arrested in custody without being informed as soon on the ground of the arrest. So Article C. Every person who is arrested and detained shall be produced before the nearest magistrate within 24 hours of the arrest. So वो है आर्टिकल हमारा 22 clause 2. Under the preventive detention, a person can be arrested without trial for 3 months. Under preventive detention, a person can be detained without trial for 3 months. Okay. According to the Constitution of India, the central government has an authority to protect states from internal disturbance. The Constitution of India attempts the states from providing legal counsel to a person for being held for the preventive detention. According to Prevention of Terrorism Act 2002, the confession of the accused before the police cannot be used as an evidence. With reference to India, consider the following statement. Whether a prisoner makes insufficient case, parole can be denied to such prisoner because it becomes a matter of his or her right. State government have their own prisoner release or parole rule. So B is correct, 1 is wrong. Okay, अगर sufficient case हो parole cannot be denied, ऐसा नहीं है, parole denied कर दिया जा सकता है. The provision of right to religion includes right of propagation of religion, to wear and carry kirpan by 6, or to make laws for social reform, right to conversion of religion of person by religious bodies. No, so 1, 2 and 3 are correct. Under which article of the Indian Constitution wearing kirpan by the 6 is deemed as a right to freedom of religion? So that is under Article 25. 25 of the Indian Constitution refers to freedom of religion. The word Hindu in Article 25 of the Constitution India does not includes, कौन से नहीं include करते वो, पारसी को, बुद्धिस्ट, जैन और सिख हमारे हिंदू में कंसिडर होते हैं. Article 25 of the Constitution, right to freedom of religion, is not subject to humanism. What are the restrictions in the freedom to manage religious affairs in Article 26 of the Constitution? So क्या क्या restrictions है? That is public order, morality and health. ये हमारे restriction है. Which of the following is not correctly matched? 23. Prohibition of trafficking in human and forced labor. Prohibition of employment of children in the industries. To manage religious affairs. To manage establishment of administration and educational institute by minorities. So मेरे ख्याल से इसका आंसर होगा D. Which one of the following pair is not correctly matched? तो ये है 24. 31 क्या है? राइट टू प्रॉपर्टी है हमारा. ओके. विच आर्टिकल ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन प्रोटेक्ट्स द राइट टू माइनॉरिटी टू एस्टेब्लिश एंड डिटरमाइन एडमिनिस्टर एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ देयर चॉइस? तो ये आर्टिकल 30 हमारा प्रोवाइड करता है. अंडर विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग आर्टिकल्स ऑफ द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इट हैज़ बीन प्रोवाइडेड दैट ऑल minorities shall have been right to establish an administration educational institute. That is article 30. So यहाँ पे हमने 93 क्वेश्चन तक कर लिया है. So I will continue this question series in next video. Hope you all like this video. If you like it, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you.